because he needs to get a lot of water in him, and because he's just started eating and stuff, he can't possibly drink all that much. So I start pushing water, and we start our morning stretches, which take probably an hour and a half to do. And that's every morning we do those.
Okay.
And I used to bathe him every day, but I don't anymore. We probably do it every other day. It just depends, But every other day he gets a bath in bed because we're not. Our house was not set up for this, so we only have a half bath in the downstairs. So I wash him in bed. So we do that every other day.
Okay. So he's set up in a different space from where you sleep, or?
No, I sleep right next to him in a bed. Okay. We're all on the first floor. We turned our living room into a bedroom, kind of.
I see.
So he's in a hospital bed, and I'm in a bed right next to him.
Okay. I see. Okay, so you have your morning stretches. You do your bath.
Right, and then we go into actual exercises.
Okay.
So every other day, we do his leg exercises, which I do in bed, and then on the opposite days, I don't do those exercises, but I get him up on, we call it a mat, which is actually a massage table that we bought. And so I put him on the Hoyer lift, and I put him onto that mat, and he sits on it, and then we do all sorts of exercises on that.
Okay.
To strengthen his core and to get his mobility, to the right and the left.
Okay. And you're not getting any kind of OT or PT in the house. You're doing it.
I'm doing it, but now we were going to outpatient OT and PT, but then insurance stopped paying for that.
And that was what you hired January?
Right. So basically, yeah, you get about 6 to 8 weeks of therapy, and then they won't pay anymore.
Right.
So we hired a physical therapist, and he comes in the house twice a week.
And this is a private pay?
Private pay, yeah, we pay out of pocket. And we tried to hire an occupational therapist to come once a week, but there wasn't any. None to hire, so.
Okay. And the PT that you hired to come in twice a week, that's been going on since for months, or?
No, we went months without any therapy. We just worked ourselves. We did everything ourselves at home.
And this is because of COVID?
Right. And then we had just started going back to therapy, and that's when they told us they weren't going to pay anymore. So that was, I'm trying to think exactly when. I'm trying to think how long Tony's been coming. So this is what, October?
Yes.
Yeah, so probably mid-August, maybe.
Okay.
He's been coming, yeah. But he's great. He's wonderful. He's probably the best we've had.
Okay.
Although we don't have the machines that they have at the facility to work on, but he's great. He's very innovative, and he pushes Jim. It's really good.
So at this point, okay, so sorry, I'll get back to the typical day and what that looks like. So you do your exercises, and then twice a week you have the PT, and then what does it? He's doing meals, so I assume you're prepping and doing all of that.
Right. Yep. So I fit that in whenever I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we bought a lot of equipment, so he does a standing frame. We have a standing frame.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in that for at least 40 minutes almost every day.
Okay. That's great. Okay.
And then we bought this little, we call it elliptical but it's just for his feet. It's not for his arms. It's just his feet. And it's motorized. So we put his feet in that, and then it's like an elliptical.
I see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're
and then we have an arm machine that does his arms. We hook his arms up to it, his hands into it, and he pushes. But that he does manually.
Right, right. Well, on our next call, when we talk about photos, those would be great, all great things to talk about.
Okay.
About all those. So you've got your morning routine, and breakfast, I presume. When do you eat?
Well, when he eats breakfast, I usually eat then with him. As I'm feeding him, I eat. It was harder in the beginning when he wasn't eating because I would forget to eat.
Right, right. But now you can eat together because you're
right, exactly. Yeah,
feeding him and yourself. Mm-hmm. And is he mostly in the bed? I know you said he's in the standing frame sometimes.
Oh, no, he's in a wheelchair. He's got a motorized wheelchair, so he's in that most of the day. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Okay, so then I guess lunch rolls around.
Yep.
And then what happens after that?
Well, so usually the morning, it depends because he's been going to speech since he can eat now. He's been going to speech therapy because they do stim on his throat and then they feed him. So that's 3 times a week. But that'll be coming to an end because he's doing so well now that he hopefully won't, need that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually what happens is we do all those exercises. He gets up. We have breakfast. Then I usually have to put a heating pad on his elbow, the one that had the operation for the HO.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's breathing exercises he does and swallowing exercises he does. And then we do, we'll either go to the standing frame or he'll do the elliptical or he'll do the arm thing. And then he does all these stretches in the wheelchair that I have to put the arms up and stuff so he can, he does like sit-ups in the wheelchair and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds crazy, but the day goes by so fast.
Oh yeah, it just slips away. I know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does. And thankfully so, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then he does. He likes to go on his iPad and he reads emails and does some stuff on that during the day.
Okay. And then how about the evening?
Well, in the evening, a lot of times we're doing, he has this, it's called a jazz splint that we have to put on his elbow.
Okay.
And you have to, every 10 minutes you have to increase the intensity on the elbow. So we usually do that in the evening time, after dinner. Sometimes before, it just depends. But a lot of times we do that in the evening time. We'll put the TV on and watch TV, and he does that. Because he can kind of chill out while he's doing it. Yeah. And then we have these mitts that we put on his hands that help him grasp things in his hands. And that we, a lot of times, we'll do in the evening time, too. They stand for like 30 minutes.
Okay.
There's not a lot of downtime that we're not doing something.
Yeah.